Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's vlog, I will be covering the almighty controversial parenting tag. I know, cue the music. This particular tag causes like such an uproar. Like even if you go on Facebook and post like one topic from the tag, like, oh, I don't believe in this or I do believe in this, it gets so much sometimes bitter backlash from it. And I'm like, I don't know, 2015, 2016 is like the year where everybody gets super offended over everything. And it's like you can't even, it's almost as if like you don't even have the right to your own opinion. Like you can have your opinion, but God forbid you state it. But whatever. Anyway, say hello.
Just me and you, just me and you.
I've watched so many other YouTube mommies cover this tag, and I think it's a good way to get to know the person you're following or subscribing to or whatever. And if you haven't done it, then I tag you to do it next. So let's just get into it. And again, before I get started, this is definitely my opinion. Everything. I don't. If I disagree with you on a subject, I don't judge you or anything. This is just like, it's all your opinion. Okay, question number one. Yes, I wrote it down. Pro-life versus pro-choice. Okay. That is such, I don't believe that's a black and white issue. I think there's gray areas in that because I am definitely pro-life. I do not believe in abortion, but at the same time, I think there should be ways around, like, I don't mean to say ways around it, but like, for example, if someone gets raped, I don't think they should be forced to have that baby. You know what I mean? Or if it's health, like your health wise, it isn't beneficial for you to have a baby. There's a lot of conditions where women of course are on birth control and they still fall pregnant anyway, and physically it could be life threatening to them to have that baby. So I don't think they should be forced to have it. There's a lot of different gray areas within this with the whole rape issue and that, but if you're just using abortion as birth control, like, I don't believe in that. So I guess I would say pro-life, but with some gray areas. Question number two, baby wearing. I'm shocked actually that this is even on the tag. Like, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't have any reason to be against it. Since my daughter was born, well, she's 4 now, but when she was a baby, of course, I used to wear the little baby thing everywhere. Like, I was that weird Target mom who would walk around Target and Walmart with her still in it because I held her, and if I put her down, she would scream and cry, and she was my only child. She's still my only child, but she was my first baby. And you know how you are with your first baby. You're very, very, very clingy. So I wore her everywhere. Like even in the house to do laundry and do dishes, I would have her on me all the time. And I think that's maybe a little bit extreme, but I'm all for baby wearing. Number three, circumcision. I don't have a son, so I think this particular topic is a little iffy to speak on when you haven't really been in that situation. But I do believe and everybody should have the rights to their own body. So if I had a son, I definitely think I would not get him circumcised. And if I have a son in the future and I'm married and everything, hopefully my husband would feel the same. I don't know, like I don't think it's like a man's issue. A lot of women feel like, oh, I would leave that up to my husband's decision. I think that decision belongs to the person who owns the penis. So I think it would definitely be like, I don't know, I would let that be until, if the kid grew up and decided he wanted to get circumcised, that's his business. I think it's not my body part, so it's not really for me to make a decision. It's something that's permanent like that. I don't know. All right, question number four, adoption. I am all for adoption, obviously. If you guys watch my almost adoption story, you've seen that. I do believe in it. I believe in giving the gift of life. There is nothing wrong with that. That's amazing. One day, like I've always said since I was a kid, I always want to adopt children. Like I really serious about that. So one day when everything is in my perfect world, I finish school and I'm married and I have a nice house, car, blah, 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 everything's perfect. I do have plans of adopting, so I don't know why anybody would be against it. I mean, I guess you have your own views, but I'm all for it. Question number five, baby piercing. I don't believe in baby piercing. I did not get my daughter's ears pierced until she was over 2 years old. And I got them done at that point because she literally was asking for them. Now, 2 years old is that area where there's some 2-year-olds that talk, and there's other 2-year-olds that are more like in the babyville. Like that's like the weird stage kind of 2-year-olds, because 3 and 4-year-olds we all know can talk very clearly, most of them. But a lot of 2-year-olds don't talk, and some of them do talk. My daughter has been a talker since like she's always been very articulate. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. Her doctors even told me she speaks very well since she was little. She's always been like that. So when she was 2 years old, she of course noticed a lot of other little girls, and she noticed my ears pierced and everything like that. And I didn't have the nose piercing and all the Monroe at the time, but she noticed it and she wanted them. Like, she literally asked for them. When I went to Claire's one day to get jewelry and stuff for me, because I love Claire's. Anyway, she wanted earrings, and I was with a friend, and she was like, it was the 4th of July, actually. I remember the exact date I got them done. And she was 2. And she wanted them done, and my friend was like, why don't we just get them done here? And that's what we did. We got her ears pierced at Claire's that day when she was a little over 2 years old. So I wouldn't get babies' ears pierced because it's unnecessary. It's not like it's something life-threatening, but at the same time, it's unnecessary pain just for you to have it. Because it's not like the baby's gonna know, like, oh, look at my gorgeous earrings. It's a baby. Like, why not wait until they're a little bit older anyway? Question number 6, breast milk versus formula. I believe in breastfeeding unless you physically can't. I couldn't breastfeed. I had really low iron, which I still do. I'm supposed to be taking iron supplements, but I never do. I need to start doing that. But I couldn't breastfeed, and also, even if I could have, it really didn't cross my mind to breastfeed. That's like a whole nother subject. But I obviously, if you guys see my almost adoption story, you know that I did not plan to parent at the time where I had her. It was a last minute decision, which I am so glad that I made. But it really was a last minute decision. And the doctors and the nurses, when I had her, nobody said anything about breastfeeding. It was almost assumed that I would just bottle feed. And I seen a post on Facebook talking about this recently, about how it's like a petition moms are trying to do or something to get hospitals to try to get women to breastfeed more and stop like almost forcing formula to be like the norm, you know. And breastfeeding should be the norm, seeing as though it is what is best for mom, baby, and it's natural, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper than going to buy formula. So I don't know, if I ever have another kid, I definitely would try to breastfeed if it was an option at that time, but it wasn't when I had my daughter. But I'm still definitely all for it. Formula was difficult. My daughter's a soy kid right now. She's completely on soy, but and almond. She drinks the almond milk. But as a baby, we went through so many different formulas because her stomach was very sensitive. It took like forever. Like, she would be like, it was really hard to watch her like cry all night because her stomach hurt. And we had to switch from this formula to that formula, and it was just like, oh my god, if I could spare anybody of that, I would definitely do it. So breastfeeding is definitely the way to go. Question number 7, spanking. I am not for it. I don't believe in it. I was a child who was spanked as a child, and I can honestly tell you from that perspective that if I didn't do something, it wasn't because I respected my parents. It was because I didn't want to get hit. So if you want your kid to behave, physically hitting them is not teaching anything. That's teaching them that when somebody does something wrong or does something that you don't like, you have to physically hit them or cause them some kind of pain to make them obey. And what is that? Like, that's crazy. That's like treating your kid like some kind of circus animal. And I don't even believe in the circus, so I don't believe in any of that type of crap. But that's doing to your kid what people do there. It's like, oh, let me hit you to make you perform the way I want you to. Like, that's crazy. Like, I don't agree with it. And I did spank my kid before. When she was like 3 years old, I spanked her a couple of times to see if it, trial and error. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, I spank my kid, and all it does is make her cry. And then I feel like a bully because I just physically caused my kid pain. And I didn't abuse her or anything like that. But it's like, still, you spank your kid, even if you're just tapping their hand and you make them cry and you're causing them pain. They're not going to really, even if they connect what they're doing is wrong, it's still like teaching them like the person they love the most is physically causing them pain, and that causes so many other psychological issues when they get older. I don't even want to get into that. And it's just so much. I am not for spanking at all. You can put them in timeout, you can take things away from them. There are other ways around it. You have to stay persistent and consistent, but hitting them, no. Question number 8, co-sleeping. Absolutely. My daughter had a bassinet when she was a baby, and then she moved into a crib when she got too big, but I still co-slept with her. Like, there were times where I would sleep with her in the bed with me all night, and sometimes I would move her. Even now, she has her own room, and she still goes to bed in her room, and then I want to say around like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, she'll go from her room to go to the bathroom, because she has her own bathroom, and it's kind of cool to see her do it, because it's, you know what I mean, nostalgic to think back to her being a baby, and now she just gets up in the middle of the night, goes to the bathroom by herself, and sometimes she'll just go right back to bed, or she'll come walking out of her room and into my room. So if I'm sleeping, then I don't see her do it. I just roll over and notice her in the bed, or sometimes if I'm still up at that point, I'll see her just walk by and go right into my room or whatever. So we, even at 4 years old, we still co-sleep sometimes. Question number 9: home versus public versus private versus charter schools. Ugh. Um, Whatever educationally is beneficial to your child. It doesn't really matter the parent's opinion. If my kid is doing very well in one school, that's where I'm going to put her. Obviously, if I could choose any school system in the world, I would choose a private Catholic school for her. Not that I'm super uber ultra religious or anything, but I think it's very good on different principles, not just the religious factor, but so many other factors for kids and stuff, but I don't even want to get into that. But I definitely would choose the private Catholic school. But if I couldn't afford it, then I would choose to send her to a regular public schooling, long as it's in a good area and like not like an inner city school. And I don't have anything against people who send their kids to inner city schools. It's just I don't live in the inner city. I live in the suburbs, so that's the kind of school I would want my kid to go to. That's our circle. That's our lifestyle. Oh my gosh, I'm out of breath. Lena's in the room watching TV. She's watching the Princess Barbie movie again. Like, her in that movie, I swear. Anyway, yeah, I would definitely choose for that. Right now, she's in pre-K, and she goes to, it's not, I wouldn't say, I don't think it's considered public because I pay for it. It's not a Head Start. So I guess you could say it's a private daycare because half of the building is like the regular daycare, and then they have the pre-K 3 and the pre-K 4. So I don't know if that's considered private or not, but it's not Head Start. It's not free. I pay for it. So that's where she's at right now. Question number 10, vaccinations. I do believe in vaccinating. I don't want my kid catching polio or something. And a lot of people say like, oh, that's an old world disease. Well, of course, because we all are vaccinated from it. But if you come into contact with somebody who from another third world country or whatever who does have it and you haven't been vaccinated, it's not so the world anymore now, is it? If you get it. So I do believe in vaccinating, but I don't believe in vaccinating the schedule they have. Like, I think it can be a little intense at times, like every month or so, or every couple of months. I have to look at her shot records. When they're babies, they do get a lot of vaccinations. So with Lena, I'm vaccinating on a delayed schedule. She literally just got 2 more shots that she was scheduled to have like months ago, like almost, yeah, a while ago, but I didn't get them because we are on a delayed schedule. I don't want her being vaccinated like regularly, but she is up to par for what she should have for a almost 5-year-old. She's up to par, so she'll be able to go to school. And she did just get her flu shot for the first time ever, and I will not be getting it again. I got my flu shot twice before. I never had any side effects. She got it and got really sick from it, and I'm glad she got it. But at the same time, if you get the flu shot, it's not like it stops you from getting the flu. There are different strains of the flu, and she can still get it, so why cause her pain just to save, she never got the flu anyway before, so I don't think I'll be getting the flu shot again for her. Question number 11, medicating children. I think this has to do with children who get diagnosed with like ADD and stuff like that at a young age. I haven't been in that situation, so again, I would say I'm kind of ignorant to this subject, so I'm not going to go into it much, but I guess I would wait till they're at least kindergarten age or pre-K age until I start like vaccinating. I mean, not vaccinating, but like medicating a child. It's one thing to get diagnosed a 3-year-old and say, oh, she has this or whatever, but I don't think I would give her medications for it unless it was extreme. Like, there are different cases that are like completely different. Like, as a journalism student, I've watched documentaries and seen like what parents have to go through depending on what the child has been diagnosed with, and some things are not like, oh, my kid won't sit down. Like, no, some things are really, really intense, and I don't blame those parents at all. You have to do what's best for the child and what's best for everyone else in your household. So I don't judge, but if I could, I would wait a little later. But again, I'm not in that situation, so I don't know. Question number 12, cloth versus disposable diapers. I use disposable diapers on Lena. If I ever have another kid, I will definitely be at least trying to use cloth diapers. I've heard they are a little bit difficult depending on what kind of washing machine you have or something like that, but in terms of like the whole big picture, they're supposedly a lot cheaper. They're really freaking cute, and I don't know, they're better for the environment than the regular ones you just toss out. So I would definitely go with cloth diapers, but I did use disposable. That's number 13, the cry it out method. I do not believe in the cry it out method. I cannot just sit there and watch my kid cry until they they soothe themselves or put themselves to sleep. I don't even know. Like, I was so against it. The first time I ever heard about it, I was just like, and to this day, I'm still like that. If my baby cried, I went to her just like that. Like they're meant, that is the only stage in life where you are supposed to cater to their every women desire. Like, what are you talking about? So anyway, that's it for the cry it out method. Whatever. That's it for the controversial parenting tag. I'm sure you're gonna agree or disagree with some things. Whatever. If you feel free comment below. If you haven't already done this tag, then I tagged you.
Just the two.